Hi, Eros. How you doing?
How are you doing, Doctor?
I'm doing fantastic. If it's a morning and talking sharks, it's a good day.
You know what? I got to tell you something. Let's start off with that very subject right there, because what you're proving to us and what you're showing us on Sharkfest is the fact that this planet doesn't just belong to the human being. You are going to take us into worlds that we have got to love and respect even more, and hopefully we can fall more deeply in love with this planet.
Yeah, it's one of those exciting things is the age of exploration is still here. There are places like the oceans we know so little about, and there are these amazing animals there. And Sharkfest takes us into that world, and hopefully we're able to inspire people to protect these amazing animals and the important oceans.
I'm not going to lie to you, Doctor. My big screen TV is huge. When I watch Sharkfest, I feel like I'm in my own personal aquarium. And the way that you guys share a story, you really you have your attention not only on the shark but also the person that's watching.
Well, I think when you're working with sharks, you always have to be paying attention in the moment. And I think that comes through in the shows, right? I mean, you don't need to make anything up to have a super exciting show. And that's the great thing about Sharkfest is we bring the latest, greatest science, the excitement of what we do. And, hopefully we're sparking some curiosity of the world around people, and they get interested in sharks and even their own backyard.
Listeners need to understand that Sharkfest is on National Geographic. It's on Disney Plus. It's on Hulu. I mean, you guys are everywhere.
Yeah, it's awesome. The streamers let us bring shark content all year round. And this month we get all these new shows out. And this year for me was just spectacular because I got to do things I hadn't ever done before. And one of them that I was super excited about was working with Ross Edgley, who is this extreme athlete. He swam around the entire British Isles. So this guy's intense, but he'd never seen big sharks. We were able to get him out there and compare his body and his amazing abilities to those of sharks. And so, I got to do new things, meet new people, and then share that excitement with people around the world on just about, whatever outlet you prefer.
Doctor, there's been a lot of talk lately, and I don't know if it's clickbait or not, but they're saying that these glaciers are melting so quickly that it's changing the core of the planet. That means it's also affecting the shark. What are you seeing beneath the water?
Well, oceans are getting a lot of pressure. We've got these glaciers melting, fresh water's coming in, and especially temperature is going up, and the acid levels in oceans are also increasing, and that can disrupt food chains. And sharks are kind of like people; they've got their range of temperatures they really like. So as ocean temperatures change, the sharks are shifting where they are, and that can disrupt the dynamics and bring sharks into contact with different animals, and in some cases people. And so it's really important that we understand, how these sharks are moving around so that we can protect oceans and make sure we have lots of sharks in oceans, healthy ocean ecosystems, and people are still able to use the oceans the way they want to.
You talk about fresh water. Does that mean that eventually the shark will evolve through evolution in the way of maybe swimming up the Mississippi River?
Well, we don't have to wait for evolution to have sharks being able to swim up the Mississippi River, because bull sharks are one of these amazing species. They can live in saltwater or freshwater. And in fact, they've been found up the Mississippi, almost to, Illinois, and, a couple thousand miles up the Amazon River. So there are sharks that can get into freshwater. But, we're not worried about the oceans becoming entirely freshwater. But as those glaciers come in, it kind of changes the density and can change some of the currents that are going on. And that really affects sharks as well. So, fresh waters, most of the places you're not going to have sharks, but in kind of coastal rivers, especially in the warmer areas like Florida up through Texas, you'll have especially baby bull sharks in those areas.
How did you react when you found out about this great white shark that's this nursery off New York City? I mean, I've never heard of this before, but we're going to learn about it on Sharkfest.
Yeah, this is a fantastic show and really shows that we can have successful conservation. I mean, white sharks were in super big trouble. Their populations had just been nearly wiped out. But after some protections, they're starting to come back. And now there are enough of them out there that we could find this nursery for white sharks off New York. And I think that shows that with the right efforts, we can balance, having healthy oceans with plenty of sharks in them and humans still getting the resources and enjoyment they need out of the oceans. And so I hope people tune in because, that's a fantastic show and really shows the successes we can have in rebuilding ocean ecosystems.
For us, the shark is the boogeyman. For you, it's something that you can explore. But my thing is, we also have to think that sharks are also business. How the heck are you keeping up with technology? That stuff has got to be through the roof expensive.
Well, it ain't cheap, but the thing is, technology's always been a part of what we do, and this is the cool thing. People want cell phones with smaller cameras, batteries that last longer, the ability to track their position. All that ends up in the tools and technology we use to learn more about sharks. And as we're able to get these instruments on sharks, video cameras in the water, we just learn so much more about these animals. And so it's expensive. But, it's really worth the investment because we can learn so much more about these animals. But at the same time, tech isn't the only answer. And we need people on the water and in the water doing their work and observing these animals. And I think that's what Sharkfest shows and really, inspires people as well to see people in there. And I got into this business because I saw people exploring when I was a kid. I saw Jacques Cousteau, Sylvia Earle, and I wanted to do that.
Wow. See, you went to the ocean. I went to the farm. A farm in the way of a tree farm. I love my forest. I love getting my hands dirty in this forest. And if it's a bug, I'm going to learn about it.
Well, that's the cool thing. I mean, no matter what your passion is, it's an amazing world out there. And there's so much that you can explore, whether it's your backyard, up in the mountains, out in the oceans. And, I hope that when people watch Sharkfest, that bit of curiosity about the natural world is sparked and, people get outside and have a look around at the amazing things that are out there.
Is there such a thing as a nice shark?
Well, this is a cool thing we're finding out about sharks is that they actually have personalities. And so even within those baby bull sharks, you've got some bolder individuals, some shyer individuals, and there's some species that are more or less aggressive. I mean, I'm not sure I'd say they are nice sharks, but some of these animals that are used to people in places where there's ecotourism, they get to know those people and you see them interact with them in a way that looks a little bit more like, animals that are used to people. And so, it's incredible how complex these animals can be behaviorally. And, they may even have some semblance of a social life there. So as we learn more about them, we find out they're even more amazing than we thought.
Because I've learned to love all living things, I don't do the fishing piers anymore because when the shark comes on shore, they kill it immediately. And it's just, I hate it. Are we doing a disservice to the community of the water by fishing and catching these things and then destroying the sharks?
Well, yeah, look, I'm not a fan of catching and killing sharks, and really we shouldn't be doing that. There are some places where we rely on sharks, and those are areas where sustainable fisheries are possible, but just killing sharks to kill them is not something we should do. They can be really important to maintaining the health of ocean ecosystems. So if we want healthy oceans, we want healthy shark populations there. So just killing them to kill them is really not something we should be doing.
Once again, we're talking about Sharkfest on National Geographic, Disney Plus, and Hulu, because I almost feel like that you guys are really, really getting some good information.
Yeah, the drones are fantastic. People usually think about drones flying in the air, and those help us a bit. But we're also starting to develop drones that go underwater. And, those underwater drones, surface boat drones, those let us get so much more information than we ever used to get, put cameras and eyes in the water and overhead. So it's really given us some cool insights to these animals. And I think the thing is that as technology expands, it's a lot more tools in the toolbox to use to get into the lives of these animals and more ways to share that excitement with people on Sharkfest.
Do you feel like a kid in a candy store or a bull in a china shop?
Well, I feel like a kid in a candy store. I'm sure other people would say I look like a bull in a china shop. But there's a reason I'm not in the organic chemistry lab. I break too much glassware. I'm too, my hands are flying everywhere. But I think that excitement. I've been doing this for more than 20 years, and every time I go out and get to work with sharks, it's just exciting as the last time. And it's a real privilege to be able to learn about these animals, interact with them, explore. And then especially to share it with everybody on Sharkfest.
Wow. Where can people go to find out more? Because, we're going to have these 4 weeks of Sharkfest, and then it's going to be like, okay, I got to have more. Give me more input.
Well, you go to Disney Plus, Hulu, you can get years worth of shark shows there. And we've done lots of great ones that are so exciting. But then there's a lot of information on the web at National Geographic and I hope people get on there and explore.
Please come back to this show anytime in the future, Doctor. The door is always going to be open for you.
Thanks so much for having me.
Well, you be brilliant today, okay?
I'll do my best. You too.